Lady and gentlemen, we are proud to present a collection of 115 poems teaching the way, compiled in the book titled Selected Divine Messages Volume 1. This volume is published under the authority of the Sao Dai Sacerdotal Council of the Te Nin Holy See. In a world filled with fleeting joys and transient sorrows, humanity eternally seeks a guiding light, one that leads beyond worldly illusions toward wisdom, virtue, and lasting peace. The poems presented here, deeply rooted in Cao Dai teachings, illuminate the profound yet practical path toward spiritual awakening and moral refinement. Through vivid imagery of lotus blossoms, jade palaces, and fleeting dreams, these verses reveal the timeless guidance offered by the way, inviting each of us to reflect upon our actions, release earthly attachments, and embark on a journey toward spiritual elevation. Join me in exploring these poetic treasures, where each line offers profound insights and inspiration to navigate life's complexities and uncover the harmony within our hearts. Respectfully yours, Hoang Minh Lee. Poem 1. Alone and bare, I truly stand in need, a single white lotus offers solace indeed. At home, I borrow the dense green cloud's shade, my steps are lifted by a white crane's aid. I spread kindness to plant the way anew, grant blessings to disciples, virtues they pursue. When earth awakens, heaven shifts its form, Buddhas, saints, and immortals descend in human norm. Poem 2. Newly describing the white jade palace. A heavenly pavilion of resplendent jade, a shimmering bridge of stars through night is laid. 1,000 fathoms barred by North Star's gate, 10,000 steps align with South Pole's fate. The deities are dazzled by its changing hue. The saints stand awed by its wonders true. Amid flashing storms, it firmly holds its ground, eternal steadfastness in time unbound. Poem 3. A fleeting dream, life like a printed scene, with wisdom and wit, self-reflection must intervene. Great wealth comes through grasping and strife, high fame is built on borrowing in life. 100 years entangled in virtue's way, one lifetime bound by love's debt to repay. Know your fate, your roots, and your role assigned, retrace the old path to heaven's gate divine. Poem 4. The world oppresses itself, lacking compassion, out of love for the world, I bring the way's direction. The path is long, the horse must endure, weakness of strength reveals a heart's allure. Follow the way, like Emperor Shun of old, who preserved King Wen's path, noble and bold. Kings, nobles, commoners, who holds the will? A steadfast resolve can shape the world still. Poem 5. The heavens shine, the sun and moon resplendent, from the 9 divine realms, noble ones are present. Ignoring the tigers that vie for the North Star's reign, disregarding dragons that battle for the southern plain. In life, laws stand firm, yet deeds are lacking. In death, all paths end in wasted tracking. With virtue and merit, the way is within reach, without merit or virtue, all efforts breach. Poem 6. Hail, Southern Nation. Hail, Southern Nation, a small land, yet early opens the Nirvana's station. Fortunate to meet Sao Dai spreading the great way, blessed to greet the Jade Emperor dwelling on earth today. Bestowing grace, aiding all through heaven's trials, in truth or illusion, peace reigns for endless miles. The supreme treasure of humanity is beyond valuation. Awakened minds uplift the world with noble elevation. Poem 7. With letters, with arms, and with tempests to see, sun, moon, yin, and yang in harmony. Heaven and earth embrace all creations vast, humans, plants, and flowers bloom unsurpassed. Marvelous sights for the noble to admire, rivers and mountains inspire songs from guests higher. I ask you, how were such wonders conceived? With reverence for Go as host, how is the way perceived? Poem 8. The jade concealed in rare stone shines bright and proud. Heaven never forsakes the bold and endowed. Blessings descend, joy shared among all, a harmonious world where all nations stand tall. Teaching humanity to seek wisdom's grace. The way spreads love across the human race. Southern men, awakened, rise with noble will, cultivate the heart to ease life's burdens still. Poem 9. The radiant light shines brightly in the east. The three religions converge, unity increased. Buddhist principles guide to virtuous ways. Confucian ideals restore harmonious days. The true way calls for cultivation and direction. Guard against delusions and deceitful intentions. To know heaven's envoy has arrived on earth. The third universal salvation fulfills its worth. Poem 10. For countless lifetimes, my name has been known. I emerge as heaven's way is shown. I come to welcome the virtuous to dwell together in one realm, one house as well. Poem 11. The chains of this time have been undone. Do not dwell on the burdens of this life alone. With affinity, one may reach the true way's stream. Persevere in practice and prayer. Do not let your resolve wane. Poem 12. Each fleeting day passes, one by one. Are immortals and Buddhas forever undone? Refine yourself to mastery and eternal life. The immortal gates feel like home, free from strife. Poem 13. One heaven, one earth, one unified home, teaching humanity to nurture hearts of virtue and wisdom. Holding the thread of heavenly plans to save all beings, perfecting the human way, ascending to immortals gleam. Poem 14. Dreaming still, not yet free from worldly snares, unaware of oneself, unready to prepare. Transform your virtues. I challenge you to try. Next month, come before me to justify. Poem 15. Present yourself to me, and I shall lift your steps. I advise you, my child, to lessen your grudges kept. If you hate others, heaven will hate you too. How can heaven's disdain be any less true? Poem 16. What surpasses the joy of cultivating virtue and skill? With pillow and blanket ready, embark on the boat at will. Beyond, there are still father, uncles, and kin. Set an example worthy of being a true disciple within. Poem 17. To be a disciple of virtue is no easy feat. Neither joy nor sorrow can one completely meet. The suffering of life becomes one's aspiration, while the scorn of others turns into a sought invitation. Poem 18. Compiled into a book called The Heavenly Scripture, the way's establishment was destined for this juncture. Fortune favors those who stay steadfast in mind, hold the phoenix's tail to reach the sunlit shore in kind. Poem 19. Fragrance or charm, all bear the scent of life, unused treasures become mere playthings rife. Buying and selling, like bargaining in a market's flow, before reaching home at dusk, life has already let go. Poem 20. The master earnestly imparts a few words of care. Know the way yourself and hold it with steadfast flair. Ignore the ignorant who mock and scorn, focus on what's right, let wisdom adorn. Poem 21. The master waits at the boat for awakened souls, urging perseverance, avoiding resentful goals. Even worldly tasks require effort to fulfill, let alone the duties of leadership on Mount Bong's hill. Poem 22. How admirable are those who choose the path of cultivation. In practice, they cherish not fame's temptation. Fame is but a charm that blinds the soul. A world without virtue can never be whole. Poem 23. Through rain and shine, the body endures countless trials, entrusting virtue to the halls of Chu Tan all the while. True refinement lies in savoring simple pickled fare, far better than ruling lofty towers of Yen or gazing on Tan's lair. Poem 24. With Prajna's wisdom, I ask you to turn the oar, Look within and show compassion for the suffering poor. 100 years may not yet perfect virtue's grace, advance with care, navigating life's rugged pace. Poem 25. Adapt with care and wisdom to save humankind, through trials and challenges, the master clarifies the design. Ignorance abounds, while wisdom is rare, failing to tread the immortal's path leads only to despair. Poem 26. Forsake material desires, embracing the vast universe entire, beyond the flesh and bones lies the soul's eternal fire. Turn back and ask yourself, is it truly worth the strife? 100 years is life's span, ending in the grave's quiet life. Poem 27. Few strive to escape the worldly snare, for they do not cherish the single word, carefree, rare. Dragons and snakes intertwine with life's flow. The dragon turns snake. Glory fades like a dream's glow. Poem 28. Walk alongside Sao Fu, the recluse of old, for the path of fame and wealth is overtold. Step back from the mundane and worldly race, laugh, cry, rejoice, grieve. Do you see their fleeting place? Poem 29. Listen closely, and you'll hear many voices of virtue. Hold firmly to the way, let it guide you true. Though seas may shift and mountains move away, great virtue remains steadfast, beyond measure or sway. Poem 30. Who sets up this instrument, crafted with such skill, that invites demons and spirits to gather at will? They linger and scheme, intent on leading astray, causing the way to drift farther from the master each day. Poem 31. Heaven's decree has now reached your hands. Endure the hardships, do not make demands. Establish the way for ages to remain, to leave a lasting legacy, an eternal name. Poem 32. Long devoted to cultivation through these years, cherishing the way, now meeting the master clears. Accept the role of teaching disciples with humility, transforming a troubled world into harmony. Poem 33. Great virtue is the mark of a worthy being. Virtue surpasses talent by far in meaning. With virtue and talent, the way holds firm esteem. Without either, all becomes an empty dream. Poem 34. Benevolence guides all actions and the way, through it, leaders inspire and sway. Wisdom led by kindness helps governance thrive. A nation of true benevolence stays unified. Poem 35. Heaven always cherishes humankind, yet grieves their cold hearts, unkind. Suppressed wisdom fears drifting beyond reach. Compassion within wields divine power to teach. Poem 36. Flying to Hoang, the phoenix calls at dusk. Immortals descend to the world, countless in their trust. Few turn their steps to walk the righteous path, while many fall, their trails bustling with life's aftermath. Poem 37. Many gaze longingly at heaven's gate, yet fail to grasp the willow branch before it's too late. When the willow thrives, the world nears its end. Amidst the turmoil, one stand must transcend. Poem 38. Sorrows have transformed, the end draws near. The northern sea will soon turn into a battlefield clear. In troubled times, humanity strives to amend wrongs. Following the path of virtue, they ascend to divine ranks strong. Poem 39. Do not think divine ascension is a vague tale. Who among you has met Lao-Tzu upon the ocean's trail? Using worldly means to guide and enlighten the land, much like borrowing the writings of Master Ho's hand. Poem 40. Parted in two, whether staying or returning, alone and distant, how much longing and yearning. Fortune fades, decline brings hardship and strife, much like the white monkey, lost in a daze of life. Poem 41. Dazed and unbothered, a virtuous soul stands. With pure thoughts, one sees the immortal's lands. Try asking your heart, it will surely teach that in this world, the Lord holds supreme reach. Poem 42. Supreme authority is hard to attain. Virtue must be cultivated to return again. Borrow from the earthly to leave essence behind. For 1,000 years, one still upholds heaven's design. Poem 43. Foolish for virtue, such foolishness is kind. A devoted heart aspires to the immortals divine. Tears remain unwashed from karmic strife. Through efforts of salvation, past debts find new life. Poem 44. Past karma fulfilled, old debts now clear. Repent and strive for the highest tier. A lifetime of simplicity pays life's dues. Have you seen the bitter trials life construes? Poem 45. Half a life passes, still filled with concern. The sincere of heart earn the Lord's return. If peace and joy are what you seek to find, follow the way, and forsake desires unkind. Poem 46. Fine foods and delicacies harm the mortal frame. Ask yourself, how many worldly cravings bring shame? High rank, many wives, and lavish feasts abound, yet the heart remains burdened, worries all around. Poem 47. A worried heart, like Bangku, graze atop the mountain high. Buying an official rank causes virtue to wither and die. What compares to a gourd filled with sun and moon's light, wisdom unbothered by worldly flattery or sly insight? Poem 48. Seek clearly the path to the heavenly abode. Praise for talent is not true talent bestowed. To be saintly, to be virtuous, know it yourself. Do not rely on others' words or borrowed wealth. Poem 49. Who truly understands their own heart's core? Perhaps only heaven knows what lies in store. Truth and illusion blur through mortal eyes. Wait until death to see where destiny lies. Poem 50. The Master teaches you the path ahead to discern. Wait for the coming year's harvest to select the worthy in turn. In 5 or 7 years, great works will take form. By then, focus on the way and its reform. Poem 51. Consider carefully to grasp heaven's design. Understand it well and act in time. Encouraging virtue has required much toil and care. Strive to perfect the way and its sacred affairs. Poem 52. The burden of sacred writings weighs heavy on the shoulder. Literary scholars endure the toil, growing bolder. The affairs of the nation and home remain entangled tight. Not yet the time for leisurely gazing at plum blossoms bright. Poem 53. Watching the plum blossoms bloom twice anew, like Confucius of old, longing for the unicorn's view. Resenting the winds, angered by the rain's refrain, through the years, neglecting the spirit to sustain. Poem 54. A spirit full within the body shines bright. Avoid entanglements with fame and power's might. Feel the eastern winds, and know their source. Do not spread your wings only to fall with force. Poem 55. Shattered pieces are hard to make whole again, like lofty mountains, beyond the reach of a boat's domain. Know your place and find joy in contentment true. Though not a Buddha, you can still be an immortal too. Poem 56. Cultivate a refined and gentle character, my child. Do not think yourself clever alone in this worldly trial. One word lacking virtue can lead to 1,000 years' fall. Many cycles of suffering stem from the smallest causes of all. Poem 57. The noble orchid grows among common grass and flowers. Without drawing close, its fragrance escapes the hours. The virtuous born into a world of cruelty and wrong. Even with saintly virtue, they blend where they don't belong. Poem 58. Cow died descends to the mortal realm below, unmoved by treasures of jade or gold's glow. Witnessing worldly sorrows time and again, reflecting without tears, a faint smile remains. Poem 59. A faint smile hides tears of deep care. Not one is lost, yet the whole flock bears despair. Knowing old age, I don't wait for a cane. I lean on the foolish child to endure the pain. Poem 60. A kind heart stems from ancient roots, unmoved by fame or wealth's pursuits. Life's fate and burdens constantly shift. Reflect on your past, give your soul a lift. Poem 61. Your former self, unredeemed, fell to the mundane. Reflect upon your heart to rekindle love for the way again. Stay true to life, do not stray into wrongs, for wrongdoing invites demons and greed prolongs. Poem 62. In times of misfortune, Yan Zi of old wore tattered sandals to visit Quang Trung's fold. Today, you have yet to fully grasp the way, simply follow my path without delay. Poem 63. Storing virtue surpasses hoarding gold, wealth and glory cannot redeem the nation's hold. The harsher the world, the firmer virtue must stand, mighty displays of force are not worth the hand. Poem 64. In the grove once dwelled 7 wise men, who forsook worldly ways to cherish the immortal's den. Born into the red dust, the body must bear its stain, yet they smile at the striving of those lost in gain. Poem 65. A lofty seat in the way is not about high authority, it opens paths, guiding others to realms of serenity. Chasing fame and fortune wears down virtue's grace, like overloading a boat until it sinks in place. Poem 66. The vessel of Prajna's boat will never sink, it floats like a flower, yet bears weight like gold's brink. With the way, even among thousands, one finds sufficiency, without affinity, even one soul may face adversity. Poem 67. Heaven's plan was revealed at the dawn of creation, calling mortals, though the call grows faint with frustration. Still clinging to glory and worldly gain, they ignore the nearing end of life's refrain. Poem 68. To near the immortal realm, leave the mundane behind, do not cling to this fleeting life, young minds. A single shared feast hides 100 drops of sorrow, step back now, escape the traps of greed for tomorrow. Poem 69. Within your heart, the Master resides and knows, yet in times past, this truth could not be exposed. Cultivate virtue and uphold righteous ways. The gates of the Jade Palace are soon to be displayed. Poem 70. Grown men fulfill their roles in life's design. If you know the way, don't treat others unkind. Living on borrowed means with constant strife, best retreat from disputes, not compete in life. Poem 71. In decline, even the noble may fall to disgrace, great endeavors, my child, must start with a kindled blaze. Life remains uncertain, as it has always been, pay no mind to venomous words of scorn or praise within. Poem 72. The rise and fall of the world, such is its way, do not burden the divine with blame each day. Good and bad reside within, inviting fortune or strife, with sincere heart, you'll behold divine spirits in life. Poem 73. Inner honesty reflects outwardly clear, a righteous mouth may sound harsh to the ear. Deceitful schemes will surely meet their end, don't plan for one while ignoring what follows, friend. Poem 74. Guard against the sea turning into mulberry fields. While officials remain, the court never stills. The lure of wealth and fame entangles life, where now is the peach spring of ease and delight. Poem 75. Why crave the world's endless rivalries and strife, scrambling for a shared feast throughout this fleeting life? All will vanish like a dream in slumber's sway, 100 short years. Remember to live kindly each day. Poem 76. Do good completely, and Buddha and heaven will care. Avoid the thoughts of winning or losing, let them fade into air. True joy comes from dwelling in tranquil scenes, praise or blame, anger or hate, such are worldly routines. Poem 77. Golden words call to the guests of the mortal plane. What value holds the path to the immortal's domain? Earthly dust belongs to the worldly strife, none have exchanged it for a tranquil life. Poem 78. A sincere heart will one day build the household's success, virtue and morality, my child, you must firmly possess. If one plows on some days and feasts on others, one cannot divide oneself to enjoy both endeavors. Poem 79. The cloud pedestal of Quan Vo bestows divine rank. This scale of the master measures deeds with great thanks. Every virtue and goodness is accounted true. Each act of merit earns rewards due. Poem 80. The heavenly abode is not of this mortal land, neither in the skies nor in the clouds it stands. It offers the law of life and urges the young to follow the Master's footsteps, striving steadfastly. Poem 81. Naivety lingers past the springtime's glow, only then does one realize life is just so. No longer chasing wealth or fleeting gain, true treasure lies in virtue's domain. Poem 82. Oh, friends! Reflect and plan ahead with care. Even across the four horizons, the truth is there. Once the thread is found, take charge with grace, spread the foundation of the true way in every place. Poem 83. Born into a world of scorching heat and pouring rain, where lies the sin, and where lies the gain? Like birds huddled as the shadow falls near, joy turns to sorrow, leaving burdens to bear. Poem 84. How can a drawn bow shelter the soaring bird? Losing kindness and grace, peace is deferred. Adaptation may help in times of distress. But restrain your heart, avoid schemes of deceitfulness. Poem 85. Gathered together, all colors and kin, whether rich or poor, we share one Father within. Lean on each other, unite as friends, life's journey is brief, soon it ends. Poem 86. The bell's chime calls humanity to awake, abandon evil, the path of goodness to take. A past life unguarded leads to punishment near, rewards and retribution always follow here. Poem 87. The heavens never forsake the virtuous kind, revealing the full authority of the Supreme Divine. Strive to establish kindness and help humankind, do not crave power and keep it solely confined. Poem 88. A wise bird seeks to perch on a sturdy tree, a virtuous person guards their love for humanity. Respect others as you would heaven and Buddha above, extend your compassion to all beings with boundless love. Poem 89. Fame and fortune have led countless astray, yet many still treat others with disdain today. To seek fame and fortune invites virtue's decay. Serving them both keeps heaven far away. Poem 90. Ancient books and tales hold lessons profound. Like a bell struck clear, its echo resounds. If the path of cultivation is not pursued with care, the Luang Vong temple may fall into despair. Poem 91. Know that heaven and Buddha are supremely just. Divine wonders before your eyes reveal their trust. Mystical power lets not a needle slip through. Beware of deceit, for cleverness is not true. Poem 92. A flawless gem is of priceless worth. A single chip brings silent regret to the earth. Let a life of virtue never turn to vice, for it may undo merits of countless lives. Poem 93. Ministers and officials lack filial care. Fulfilling moral duties makes divinity fair. If in the past they'd known the path of devotion, by now, they'd reside among sacred elevations. Poem 94. Morning and night, living simply, desires are subdued. Though the heart may plot, plans often elude. Fulfill the human way as a priority. When the door is clear, the way flows with clarity. Poem 95. A crown on the head can't match a shade so wide. How to raise such a lofty canopy with pride? Shade 5 families to cool their hearts anew. But to grant such comfort, what book should guide you? Poem 96. Pure gold, when met with fire, only grows in worth, even when called foolish, it does not lose its mirth. Following cow die, one receives saving grace, for endless years to come, blessings will embrace. Poem 97. If red silk can cover the pure mirror's gleam, it reflects the bond of unity, a noble theme. Though sorrows press and the body suffers pain, the master advises, follow the way, joy you'll regain. Poem 98. Success and failure rest in heaven's design. How can one escape the peaks and brine? Though not towering, wisdom is profound. Understand the mechanisms, and life's truths are found. Poem 99. Have you yet grasped where good and evil led? Once understood, abandon evil's seed. Cultivate hidden virtues, layer by layer, and you'll return to your former sacred sphere. Poem 100. Though countless books teach words of virtue, the learned are not always wise, it's true. Try altering heaven's design, if you dare. Then I shall transform evil into goodness everywhere. Poem 101. Mistakes of the past, repent with care. Plead with your heart, reflect and be aware. Fulfill human way in this worldly span, only then can the heavenly way be fully manned. Poem 102. Burdened shoulders bear the weight of worldly debt. This mortal body suffers in hardship's net. Not yet fed in the morning, the evening pot's in sight, break free, little by little, from this fated plight. Poem 103. Leave the worldly path, ascend to the immortal peaks, with willow branch water, extinguish sorrow's heat. If neither fate nor debt binds your heartstring, why entangle yourself in attachments unyielding? Poem 104. Burdened by sorrows, do not let worries grow, step firmly on rough paths, let your resolve show. In the sea of suffering, waves relentlessly crash, hasten your steps, lest you miss the Farah's pass. Poem 105. Heaven's heart never favors just one or a few, those with virtue shine brighter in all they do. Each reward demands great labor and care, but the weight leads to strength to shoulder and bear. Poem 106. On your shoulders rests the weight of heaven and earth, cleverness pulls many into worldly mirth. Chasing earthly pleasures, they forget to turn back, will your steps, once bright, endure or lack? Poem 107. A phoenix sings in the southern hills, the way takes root, its sprout draws souls from heaven's four corners to reboot. The west and Asian seas await a changing hue, white clouds of blessings spread across the skies anew. Poem 108. Why dwell on matters far and unsure? Heaven above watches all, ever pure. Gaze from your rooftop, see heaven and earth align, heavens are flawless, without a grain misaligned. Poem 109. Until now, Vietnam lacked the way of the home, today, I establish it, so it may bloom and become. If asked how much effort it takes to achieve, tell them the young to follow, as the old perceive. Poem 110. Accumulate blessings, my child, accumulate them well, for you're still entangled in life's binding spell. Loving your children and grandchildren means loving the way isn't far, it resides within you each day. Poem 111. The nature of your wisdom, whose gift is it, say? Bestowed upon you, it shines through rank and display. If you know the path, turn back to the way, lest you let another day slip entirely away. Poem 112. The royal path to the crown is set ablaze with light, untouched by worldly dust, one cherishes serene delight. Cultivate virtue and nurture a kind-hearted core, 1,000 years of family peace will be yours to explore. Poem 113. The way is profound, the way is profound, high, yet not too high, deep, yet not unbound. The height can be reached, the depth can be explored, its true essence lies within the human heart's accord. Poem 114. Awaken and devote yourself at the Pham Mon Gate, encouraged to cultivate for saving soul's fate. Without effort, the true destiny cannot be regained. Awareness of the world will grant your sacred name. Poem 115. A virtuous heart reveals the way and attains true guidance. Preserve life and uphold heaven to gain fulfillment's essence. In later days, fame and gain will fade from sight. A heart focused on the essential remains upright. Lady and gentlemen, you have reached the end of this video. Thank you for listening and exploring these beautiful poems teaching the way. Please continue this meaningful journey with us by reading Volume 2, where further wisdom and inspiration await. May the way guide and illuminate your path always. Respectfully yours, Hoang Minh Lee.